3, 2, 1, action! Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is the first video I've done in a long time, so I'm going to keep it nice and simple. So if you've seen on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, etc, it was actually the practical astronomy show yesterday, and I had some birthday money to spend because it was my birthday literally a week ago. So I bought myself a new tracking mount, portable tracking mount, which is the MiniTrack LX4, and also the deluxe polar wedge to go with it. So I'll get unboxing these, I'll show you some features and how they go up on the tripod, and yeah, we'll just have a little bit of a chat about them. So let's get unboxing. So you're probably thinking, Stace has got loads of tracking mounts, why does she actually need one of these? Well, I did have a Pentax camera which had the AstroStace function when it had a GPS module, and I had some great success with that. I mean, see this picture right now, and I took that down in Dorset literally just using the Pentax and the AstroStace function. But as always with me, I like to go bigger and better. So I've recently traded in my Pentax for a Sony Alpha A7 III, and that is what I'm filming this video on right now. So that camera does not have a tracking function built in. However, it does have a nice big full frame sensor which is highly sensitive. So I decided that to get some, decent Milky Way shots, I wanted to get a tracking mount. And I was at the Practical Astronomy show yesterday. I had a look around all the stalls, and the Altair Astro stall had these Omegon MiniTrack mounts on them. So this is the Quattro, which is the latest version, I believe. You can use this in the northern and the southern hemispheres. You have to tweak it a little bit if you are in the southern hemisphere. And apparently it can carry up to 4 kilograms. I'm not sure how true that is, but I only am intending on using my Sony Alpha, which isn't that heavy, and the lenses that I'm hoping to use won't be that heavy either. So when we get into the box, it tells us straight away that there's a locking mechanism on the tracking mount that you have to undo before you can use it. So yeah, leave that out of the way. You also get a piece of paper showing you, telling you to follow Omegon, and we've got a Allen key. We've got a polar scope. Now, those of you that remember me having the MiniTrack LX2 a long time ago will remember that it had not a polar scope, but almost like a straw that you would look through to find Polaris. And I always joke that you could use it to align your MiniTrack and then use it to zip on your GMT if you like. But this version has come with a fully fledged polar scope. Excuse the rapper noises. Yeah, you can't really see through it on this video, but I did have a look through it earlier, and it has got a proper reticule in there, and some other markings too, and it's quite nicely made. And you should be able to check that it's all aligned as well. So pop that back. So this is the MiniTrack itself. Now, I had the LX2 and I took it to Spain with me, and even though it was a big chunk of aluminium, it didn't give me any problems going through security, and I didn't have to worry about any lithium batteries. So yeah, and it worked a charm. So this is where you pop the polar scope. This is the timer mechanism. It's locked at the moment. That's the locking bolt that I need to remove before I can use it. This is the spring tensioning system, and now this is how you tension this spring to ensure that the mount is balanced. Now they do say the optimal tracking rate is about 130 to 135 ticks per minute, and they, in the instructions, they do recommend an app to check that your mount, your MiniTrack, is tracking at the optimum rate. So I'm going to mount it by, I've got my polar wedge that the MiniTrack fits in here, and then I'll put a ball head on here and my camera will attach to that. These thumb screws are for releasing this plate, and that's so if you're in the southern hemisphere you can fit this extra southern arm to reverse the tracking mechanism, but I'm not going to do that because I am not in the southern hemisphere, as you've probably guessed. So it's a very simple device. I've had the MiniTrack LX2 before, it worked a charm. I'm pretty happy that I've returned to familiar territory, and it gives up to 60 minutes of tracking, which is plenty when you just, you know, want to get a few Milky Way shots or some constellation shots with a camera. On to the second part of my unboxing. So I also ummed and ahed about what I was going to put my MiniTrack on, because previously I literally mounted it on a ball head that then attached to the tripod, but the MiniTrack LX2 was lighter than the LX4, and not only that, I'm a bit traumatised because about a week after I got my Sony Alpha A7 III, my camera strap failed and it went completely crashing to the floor. So lately I am super serious about making sure cameras and Astro stuff is completely secure. So I went and bought the deluxe polar wedge, which isn't cheap, but because I was at the show once again, bought it from the Altair Astro store, and yeah, it was a good price. So yeah, it says deluxe polar wedge for LX4 and Vixen style dovetails. Once again, we open it up, it's packaged well. We get another Amigon piece of paper telling us to follow them and for instructions, or destructions as I like to call them these days. I'm not sure what else is meant to be in here, but I think it's probably just generic cutouts. But we've got the wedge. Okay, let's remove that box. Once again, sorry for wrapper noises. So yeah, it's a really hefty bit of kit. If you've used a polar wedge before, you'll be well familiar. These things come with like the Star Adventurer, and you know, you can get them from William Optics and things, but this is Amigon's version. So we've got latitude markings here. I haven't set it for mine yet. We've got sort of alt-as bolts that we can move to polar align, and we've got a nice clamp that the MiniTrack literally fits right in. So let me just grab that MiniTrack back out again. So here we can see it's almost like a Vixen style, and it literally just slots in, and then we can tighten it up with this bolt, and therefore it's nice and secure. So that would then go on my tripod, and obviously I'd have my polar scope through there, and I should be easily able to adjust to get this perfectly polar aligned. So now you've seen all the bits that I've bought, let's get it on a tripod. So you're probably all wondering where I've been and what I've been doing. So while I'm fitting it, I'll, you know, tell you what's been happening. If you don't like sob stories, feel free to fast forward the next few bits. But as you can see, I've got into houseplants as well, but I don't think I'll be doing a YouTube channel on those. Anyway, right, let's get fitting this thing. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this ball head off my tripod. literally just unscrewing it. The bolt came with it, so yeah, just going to put that back in. So yeah, the last 2 years have been really bad. COVID happened, had lots of bereavements, literally 3 members of the family, passed away. And then on top of that, I managed to prolapse 3 discs in my neck, C5, C6 and C7. But as you can see, probably you've noticed on the floor, there's a huge Newtonian here. I'm getting better, and I'll probably do a video on this at some point. So, because I still have refractors, I still love refractors, but I had a mad moment and also got engaged, and this was kind of engagement present. So I am getting on with the Newtonian. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Anyway, I'm now going to put my polar wedge onto my tripod. Just screws on. There we go. Imagine I've already set it to the right latitude, etc. And MiniTrack slots in there, tightens up nicely. Polar scope slides through there. And imagine that I've taken the locking nut out of here, and I'm going to mount the camera on here, which I'll do now, and to literally start tracking, I just need to turn that. Okay, so as you can see, I've mounted my ball head onto the MiniTrack LX2, and then I've put my camera on at a very jaunty angle on there. We're not blocking the polar scope, but in the instructions it does tell you how to set that tensioning spring depending on the position of your camera. So yeah, that if I wanted to go and catch some Milky Way images, that is literally all I would need to take. This is nice and secure on the polar wedge. I am not absolutely worried that this very expensive camera, is going to drop to the floor. So yeah, and I've also just been told that I need to say that the mad moment wasn't getting engaged. The mad moment was actually decided that I wanted a Newtonian. So yeah, I've just been told that I need to make that clear. So yeah, that is the MiniTrack LX4 Quattro. This is my first video in years, my life story or a bit of it, and hopefully I'm going to Church Stretton next month for a little breakaway, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to use this little setup to capture some cool images, and hopefully I can do a bit of an update video when I've done that. So yeah, thank you to everyone who came to the Practical Astronomy show yesterday and actually came to speak to me to say, that they enjoyed my videos and asking where I've been. And, thank you to the viewers for sticking with me, because I will be back. I say this every video, but yeah, I'm hoping this time it'll be different. So, bye for now.